Captain Eleanor Wright jumped from her seat when the alarm blared across the bridge of the UNSV Frontier. Red lights flashed as a strange message appeared on the main screen. She had never seen anything like it before. "Captain, you need to see this," said Alan Reeves, the communications officer. His hand shook as he worked the controls. "It's from the Galactic Council itself." Eleanor moved closer to the screen. The Galactic Council ruled over all 37 advanced alien species in the galaxy. They almost never talked to humans. Humans were too new to space travel, having discovered faster-than-light engines only 15 years ago. "What do they want?" Eleanor asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Her crew watched her with worried eyes. Alan looked up, his face pale. "They want us to come to their main station right away." "It's not a friendly invitation, Captain. It's an order." "Did they say why?" Eleanor's stomach tightened. Lieutenant Kyle Barnes, her trusted second-in-command, checked the message again. No real reason given. Just that we must come with all urgency to discuss matters of grave importance to galactic stability. He looked worried. "Those aren't good words, Captain." Eleanor rubbed her temples. The Frontier was just a science ship with 87 crew members, mostly scientists and engineers with a small security team. They were exploring space, taking samples, and studying stars. Why would the most powerful aliens in the galaxy demand to see them? "Could it be a mistake?" asked Olivia Martinez, the science officer. "Maybe they meant to call a different ship." Eleanor shook her head. "The message has our exact ship ID. They want us specifically." She stared at the star map on the wall. Nexus Station, home of the Galactic Council, was 3 days away at top speed. "Should we call Earth first?" Kyle asked. "Get instructions from command." Eleanor thought for a moment. Earth was too far away for a quick response. Whatever the Council wanted couldn't wait. "No time. Set course for Nexus Station," she ordered. She straightened her uniform and faced her nervous crew. "And send a message to Earth explaining where we're going and why. If we get in trouble, Earth should know." As the Frontier changed direction, heading toward the massive space station where the Council waited, Eleanor felt fear creep up her spine. In all of human history, no captain had ever been summoned by the full Galactic Council. "Whatever happens," she told her crew, "remember we represent all humanity now." The ship accelerated toward Nexus Station, its engines glowing bright against the darkness of space. Every crew member wondered the same thing. Why would the most powerful aliens in the galaxy suddenly take interest in one small human ship? The Frontier docked at Nexus Station 3 days later. The massive structure hung in space like an elaborate jewel, its curved architecture unlike anything humans had designed. Gleaming silver and blue, it rotated slowly around a central axis, housing the permanent representatives of the Galactic Council. Eleanor led a small delegation from her ship. Kyle, Alan, Chief Science Officer Olivia Martinez, and Security Chief Gabriel Rogers. They were met at the airlock by a Viridian, one of the oldest Council species. Standing nearly 7 feet tall with iridescent scales and 4 arms, the alien regarded them with large, unblinking eyes. "I am Sol Terran, Third Secretary to the Council," the Viridian said, its translator converting the series of clicks and whistles into English. "Your presence has caused quite a stir, humans." "We received a summons," Eleanor replied carefully, "though we're still unclear about the reason." The Viridian's upper arms made a gesture that might have been dismissive or apologetic. Human understanding of alien body language was still developing. "All will be made clear in the assembly. Follow me." They were led through vast corridors teeming with alien life. Some species they recognized from previous diplomatic encounters, but many were completely new. Eleanor noted how conversations seemed to halt as they passed, how different beings turned to watch them, with expressions ranging from curiosity to what she interpreted as hostility. "Something's wrong," Gabriel whispered, his hand instinctively moving toward the ceremonial sidearm he'd been permitted to keep. "They're looking at us like we're either dangerous or doomed." Eleanor silently agreed but kept her expression neutral. They were brought to a waiting chamber outside the main council hall, told to remain until summoned. "Captain," Olivia said quietly when they were alone, "I've been analyzing the language patterns in the original summons. There are linguistic markers consistent with accusations, not invitations." "You think we're on trial?" Kyle asked. Eleanor gazed out a viewport at the stunning array of starships docked at the station. "I think we need to prepare for that possibility. Whatever happens in there, remember we represent all of humanity now." The massive doors to the council chamber slid open silently, and a different alien, this one a floating jellyfish-like creature, approached. "The council will see the humans now," it announced. The council room was huge and round. Rows of seats went up the walls like stairs, filled with aliens of all kinds. In the middle was a round platform lit by blue light. Eleanor felt tiny as her team walked to the center platform. As soon as the humans entered, all the alien talking stopped. Hundreds of strange eyes stared at them. A very tall, thin alien with gray skin and a long face stood up from the highest row. Eleanor knew what it was. A Meridian, one of the oldest and most powerful alien types. "I am High Counselor Zevnara," the alien said, its voice booming through the room. "We called this meeting to discuss a very serious problem with humans." Eleanor stepped forward, trying to look brave. "I am Captain Eleanor Wright from Earth. We came as you ordered, but we don't know why we're here." The High Counselor's big eyes narrowed. 3 days ago, our friends the Exani found an empty human ship floating in space. It was damaged and abandoned. Pictures appeared in the air above them, a small Earth ship with broken parts. "That's the VSS Pioneer," Olivia whispered with shock. "It went missing 2 years ago. Everyone thought it was destroyed." The High Counselor spoke again. "The Exani went inside the ship. What they found was very troubling." New pictures showed the inside of the ship, focusing on what looked like a science lab. "Your ship had research about deadly diseases that could kill many types of aliens," said Zevnara in a cold voice. "These diseases were made in a lab to attack non-humans." The room filled with angry whispers. Eleanor felt sick. "That's impossible. Earth would never make weapons like that. It's against all our laws." "The proof is clear," shouted another alien from a different row. "These were weapons designed to kill council species." Kyle stepped forward, his face red with anger. "The Pioneer was just a science ship studying how to grow food in space. Nothing more." "Then explain this," said the High Counselor. The pictures changed to show complicated science data on screens. Olivia looked at them carefully, then turned to Eleanor with confusion. "Captain, these are research files about plants, but someone changed them. The original work was about growing crops in alien soil, but the files were altered." Gabriel moved closer. "Someone set us up. They wanted this to be found." Eleanor faced the council again. "High Counselor, we need time to look at this evidence. These are serious claims, and it looks like someone changed our data." Zevnara talked quietly with other council members, then said, "You have 1 day to prepare your defense. If you cannot explain this, we will cut off all contact with humans." As guards led them out, Eleanor realized what this meant. Earth would be completely alone, blocked from all alien contact by the combined power of 37 advanced civilizations. Humans would lose their place among the stars they had just started to explore. Back in their room, the humans worked fast. Olivia and Alan studied the data files while Kyle and Gabriel talked about what they knew about the lost ship. "Someone definitely changed these files," Olivia said after working for hours. "The original research was really about growing plants in space, but someone with good skills changed it to make it look like we were making diseases to kill aliens." Eleanor walked back and forth across the room, thinking hard. Who would do this? And why? The Pioneer disappeared 2 years ago. Who found it first? Alan looked up from his computer. "Captain, I checked our records. 3 alien groups have had arguments with Earth colonies this year. The Axani, the Dorjans, and the Tellarites, said Kyle. And it was the Axani who found the Pioneer. That seems too easy. Gabriel frowned. If the Axani wanted to frame us, why would they be the ones to find the ship? Everyone would suspect them first. Eleanor stopped walking. Maybe that's the plan. They want us to think it's too obvious to be them. Suddenly the door opened. Everyone turned in surprise. A person in a hood stepped in quickly and closed the door. When they took off their hood, the humans saw a blue-skinned alien with big almond-shaped eyes. "I am Kira," the alien whispered. "I work for the Procyon delegation. I am taking a big risk coming here, but some of us think someone is setting you up." "Who?" Eleanor asked. "We think it's the Meridians, especially High Counselor Zevnara." Kira handed them a small device. "This has security videos from a Procyon outpost near where the Pioneer was found. A secret Meridian ship was there 2 months before the Axani discovered your ship." Olivia took the device and started studying it right away. "Why would the Meridians want to hurt humans?" Kyle asked. Kira looked serious. "Because they fear you. Humans have done in decades what took other species hundreds of years. Your ability to adapt and invent things quickly. Some council members see it as a threat. So they want to keep us isolated." Eleanor understood now. "Yes," said Kira. "And there's more. The vote tomorrow is just for show. Most decisions have already been made in private. Most council members already plan to vote against humans." Gabriel hit the wall with his fist. "So we're already judged guilty before we even get to defend ourselves." "Not completely," Kira said. "There is an old council rule. If you can prove someone deliberately faked evidence, you can demand a fair investigation by neutral parties. We have until tomorrow to prove the Meridians set us up," Eleanor said firmly. She started giving orders to her team. Olivia and Alan would look for proof in the data. Kyle would work with Kira to understand council politics, and Gabriel would keep them safe. As everyone got to work, Eleanor stood by the window, looking at the stars. They had one chance to save Earth's future in space. Morning came too quickly. Olivia had worked all night and looked very tired, but she was smiling. "I found it," she said as everyone gathered around. "The change data has special marks that only Meridian computers make. It's hard to see, but it's there. And Kira's videos show a Meridian ship was near the Pioneer before anyone officially found it." Eleanor looked at the evidence. It was good, but maybe not enough. This might not convince the council, especially if most members already decided against us. "There's something else," Alan said with a worried face. "While checking the Pioneer's records, I found pieces of the crew's last messages. They found something out there, Captain. Something that scared them enough to send a secret warning to Earth." "What kind of warning?" Kyle asked. "The message was damaged, but it talked about ancient weapons and sleeping giants. Whatever they found wasn't just a normal science discovery." Eleanor thought about this new information. The Meridians are one of the oldest alien species in the Council. If the Pioneer found something from their past, something they wanted to keep hidden, it would explain why they tried so hard to make us look bad. Gabriel finished. The room's communication panel made a sound. The Council was ready for them. "We'll use what we have," Eleanor decided. "Alan, send everything we found to Earth using the strongest protection codes. Whatever happens in that room, Earth needs to know the truth." As they got ready to leave, Kira returned, looking even more worried than before. "The Meridian group has been meeting privately with important council members all night," she warned. "They're pushing for quick action instead of careful thinking. You might not even get a chance to show your evidence." Eleanor straightened her uniform. "Then we'll have to make sure they listen." They walked together to the council chamber, ready to fight for humanity's future. Eleanor knew the odds were against them, but she had one advantage: the truth. And sometimes, even in a room full of powerful aliens, the truth was the strongest weapon. As the doors to the council chamber opened, Eleanor took a deep breath. Whatever happened next would change the course of human history forever. The small team from Earth walked forward, prepared to face the assembled power of the galaxy's oldest civilizations. The council chamber seemed even bigger than before. Every seat was filled with aliens. The room was quiet but tense, with aliens talking in low voices. High Counselor Zev Nera stood up tall above everyone. This meeting will decide if humans should be cut off from all contact with Council species. The evidence shows they made weapons to kill other species. Eleanor stepped forward on the platform. She took a deep breath and spoke in a clear, strong voice. High Counselor, before you continue, I use the right of revelation under Council Charter, Section 117. A wave of surprised noises filled the room. Even Zev Nera looked shocked. The long face of the Meridian leader tightened with worry. The right of revelation is rarely used, the High Counselor said carefully. You claim someone faked the evidence against you. Yes, Eleanor said firmly. And we have proof that Meridian agents caught the Pioneer before the Exani found it. They changed the research data to make humans look guilty. Olivia showed their findings, the special marks in the data, the security videos, and how the farm research had been changed to look like disease research. These claims are outrageous, Zev Nera shouted, but Eleanor could see the alien's body language change. We also found something else, Eleanor continued. We know why you did this. The Pioneer found something in deep space, something the Meridians want to keep hidden from everyone. The ship's last message talked about ancient weapons and sleeping giants. The room exploded with noise. Many council members stood up, demanding to know more. A blue-skinned alien from the Procyon group spoke up. If the humans are right, this is very serious. The Meridians always said they shared all their old technology when the council was formed. Zev Nera lost his calm. These are lies from a primitive species trying to escape punishment. Eleanor watched the room change. Some aliens clearly didn't believe the Meridians anymore. Others looked confused by everything happening. There is a simple way to solve this, she said loudly, getting everyone's attention again. Send a neutral team to check both the Pioneer and the place where it was last seen before the Meridians caught it. Impossible, Zev Nera shouted. That area is closed for research. Closed by Meridian request 70 years ago, said another council member, a bird-like alien with colorful feathers. No reason was ever given for closing it. The room got louder, with different groups now arguing openly. Eleanor saw Zev Nera talking urgently with other Meridians. Suddenly, a new voice cut through the noise, deep and powerful. I propose we vote now on the humans' request for a fair investigation. The speaker was huge with skin like stone and glowing eyes. All other aliens became quiet when this being spoke. That's Elder Karnvos of the Duraxians, Kyle whispered. Their species is even older than the Meridians. To Eleanor's surprise, most council members voted to support the investigation. Zev Nera looked ready to protest when alarms started blaring through the chamber. Security forces rushed in, not council guards, but Meridian soldiers. Elder Karnvos stood up to his full height of nearly 10 feet. The Meridians tried to silence the truth with force. The Elder's voice boomed, just as they did 30,000 years ago, when they used forbidden weapons against the precursor worlds. The room fell into chaos. The standoff in the council room lasted for hours. Meridian guards stood with weapons while other aliens shouted for answers. Eleanor and her team stayed on the center platform with Elder Karnvos of the Duraxians standing protectively near them. Your ship found the edge of a huge weapons storage area, the Elder explained quietly to Eleanor. The Meridians used these weapons to gain power before the Council existed. They have hidden their true history for thousands of years. Eventually, Council security forces took control. They took away the weapons from the Meridian soldiers. High Counselor Zev Nera and all the Meridian leaders were put under guard while the Council formed an emergency team to investigate. 3 days later, the Council met again. A Procyon elder with blue skin now led the meeting instead of Zev Nera. Our first investigation confirms what the human captain said, the new leader announced. The evidence against humans was faked by Meridians. Also, a team sent to the place from the Pioneers' last message found a storage of forbidden weapons from before the Council was formed. Eleanor stood with her crew as the Procyon Elder continued. The Council formally says sorry to the human delegation and to Earth. The plan to cut off humans is rejected by everyone. Instead, we offer humans full membership in the Council with all rights and protections. The room filled with talking. Membership, but we've barely started exploring space, Kyle whispered. Most species wait hundreds of years for that honor. The Procyon Elder raised a hand for quiet. Also, because humans helped uncover this lie, we ask Earth to help us recover and control the discovered weapons. Your species has shown great insight and courage when facing strong opposition. Eleanor stepped forward, knowing her words would shape humanity's place in the galaxy for generations to come. Honored Elder, members of the Council, she began with a clear, strong voice. Humanity accepts your apology and your offer of membership. We came to the stars not looking for power, but for understanding and friendship. She paused, looking at the representatives of dozens of advanced alien civilizations. The Pioneers' crew died seeking knowledge. They accidentally found a truth that some wanted to hide. But truth has a way of coming out despite efforts to hide it. As we go forward together, let us remember that real strength is not in weapons or secrets, but in the courage to face our past honestly and grow beyond it. The chamber became completely silent. Every alien sat still, focused entirely on the human captain. In that deep silence, Eleanor continued, Earth accepts Council membership, and we promise to help with the challenges this discovery brings. We don't bring ancient power to this table, or thousands of years of advanced technology. What we offer instead is a fresh view, the ability to adapt, and a strong determination to build a better future. Not just for humans, but for all thinking beings. The silence held for several seconds after she finished. Then, starting with Elder Karn Voss and spreading throughout the room, the Council members stood up in a sign of highest respect. The Procyon Elder spoke again, voice filled with wonder. In all my centuries, I have never heard such wisdom from such a young species. The human spoke once, and the entire Council fell silent. Perhaps this is exactly the new perspective we have needed.